through what you've been doing last night and then today?
Yep, so last night we were up in Waikerie and had a bit of a dinner with the supporters group there. Yeah, I think we have maybe 6 or 7 boys that have come down, a couple of staff members, and yeah, we're lucky enough to get around and meet a few of the supporters down here and sort of get a bit of an idea of what they have to go through and what they're doing leading into this year, which is pretty exciting, and yeah, very keen for them.
Cool. What have you learned talking to those people?
Probably on the topic of the floods and stuff, it hasn't been easy. So I think a lot of the boys here haven't really seen too much of what's going on. So to drive through places like Waikerie and sort of places like that where you got to cross the river and see the amount of water that's actually out there is pretty eye-opening and pretty confronting actually, to be honest. So to be able to see that and see what they've gone through and what they've had to put up with and watching, not watching, but seeing water through houses and stuff, it's obviously not a good situation, but to see how tight-knit the community are and how they're all holding together, it's pretty good.
Do you boys enjoy the opportunity and I guess maybe the responsibility as well that you can come out here and try and bring a few smiles and raise some spirits with it?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great opportunity. I think a lot of the boys are from Melbourne that have come, so they haven't been to these country towns in SA. So for them to be able to get out here and sort of experience what it's like and how small communities stick together in hard times is it's pretty good, and they all love the opportunity and all jumping at it. I think if we weren't in the middle of pre-season and there weren't there were more opportunities for a lot of other players to come, we would have definitely jumped at it. But yeah, I think all the boys love it, and to be able to meet new people and sort of have an idea of how much passion there is around here, yeah, all the boys just froth it.
Darcy, words like confronting and eye-opening, did you hear any stories last night that made you a little bit more grateful or lucky to not be involved in some of the stuff that's happened here?
Definitely, you hear some stories of people that have lost majority of their stuff. I think one of the benefits of what's actually happened, one of the positives of a bad situation is that they had time to prepare for it, knowing that it was coming a couple of weeks out. But yeah, for people to lose their homes and some of their belongings and stuff, it's obviously you wouldn't wish it upon anyone. So I think we're very lucky in Adelaide. Not a lot happens in the city, so yeah, to be able to come out here and get an idea of what actually goes on in some places, it's obviously eye-opening experience and something that you sort of look back on and pretty grateful for.
Did it lift a couple of spirits?
I hope so. Yeah, I think there are a lot of people there that were happy to see us, and yeah. Obviously, it isn't much compared to what we've been able to do before COVID, but yeah, I think this was one of our first community camps since COVID. So to be able to get back out and sort of see people and hopefully put a smile and take their minds off what's going on for a little bit, it's good.
Personally, how are you tracking? Massive year. If we don't mind talking a bit of footy with you.
Yeah, hopefully it's a big year coming up. So tracking alright, nearly done the hard stuff now, and once games comes in, it should be the easy stuff. So fingers crossed everyone stays fit and we as a team have a pretty successful year.
Personally, last year was remarkable for you. I mean, you played the first 3, you got dropped for 5, and then you come back, and I don't think only 2 games you went goalless in that stretch, and that was the first 2 you came back. What was the key to your turnaround, mate? It was a remarkable year.
I think it was just doing a little bit of training off field, I guess, and it's sort of just. I think footballers can get into the trap of just trying to work on the physical side of things. So for me, it was a lot of mental stuff. I needed to figure out what I do well and how I'm going to, I guess, impact at AFL level. I was lucky enough to do a little bit of mind training, and sort of I guess I worked all that stuff out a little bit towards the end of the year, and I was lucky enough to see a little bit of reward at the back end. So hopefully that flows on. I'll keep working on that and hopefully can string it together for a full year for once.
Is that more important than the physical stuff for you?
I reckon they're pretty even. I think I find the physical stuff, especially like the running, I obviously need to build that up. So I think both equally very important. But when things are going tough, I think it's a fair mental battle. So things can pile on pretty quickly. So if you're not clear in that space, it's hard to come back from it.
Did you feel the pressure at the start of last year? I think those first 3 or 4 games were Texas banned. There's a lot of talk that it's sort of your time to step up, and it actually ended up happening later in the season. Do you struggle with the pressure sometimes of being, Adelaide's next Taylor Walker?
Not so much the external pressure. I think footballers put a lot of pressure on themselves, and they just want to do well. So I think that's where that comes from. So I may not have handled my internal pressure as well as I should have. I've put a lot of pressure on myself, as as a lot of people do. But in terms of the media pressure, you don't really hear too much of it. Yeah, I think you just sort of stick to what you're being told by the people you trust. So for me, it is Tex, it's Rails, it's Nixie, it's all those people that are sort of feeding me information that I can actually use. So the best I can handle is just sticking by that and sort of sticking what I know. So
what did you learn about yourself in those few weeks you had in the sample and off that allowed you to sort of come back and dominate that after you?
It probably I guess in a sense not a lot really matters, and it's actually pretty good coming down here. Like there's bigger things in life than footy, so putting those pressures on yourself at the end of the day is not going to help. It's sort of just playing good footy, sort of trying to relax everything, and just sort of, I guess, go with the flow a little bit without being too blasé. That's probably the main things I learned. Is just if I can have fun playing footy, I'm going to play the best football I can. So it's simplifying a lot of things.
Just taking over from Tex, is that in your wheelhouse, Darcy? Like, is that a long-term goal of yours? Or?
Well, Tex is flying at the moment, so he's holding the mantle if there is one pretty steadily at the time being. So, but no, it's not something that I'm aiming for. It's I guess competing against myself to an extent, as he probably is as well. He's playing really good footy, and obviously love playing with him. So as he's flying and going along, it's pretty cool to be able to watch someone that's that good play good footy and sort of be in the same field as.
Sorry, by the time the next generation took over, then I mean you got like yourself, Riley, Ranks has come in. I mean Shanna's probably not exactly early 20s anymore. But is it now your time? Is it your club?
I guess, yeah, like I said, with Tex playing so well, we're a young side, so I guess if you want to put it that way, yeah, it's time for the younger boys to start playing more consistent footy. We're at the stage now where we're all getting around the 50 game mark and we're all settling in and sort of building that base. So bluntly, probably yes, I think it's time to take the pressure off Tex and Roy Laird and Sloaney and all that. So for them to be able to play some good footy now and let the young boys come through and sort of start taking over, yeah, probably is the time, I reckon.
Tex feels like a fine line, so it could be 2-3 years before we have to talk about it, but when that moment does come, being the spearhead, is that something that you'd relish, that you want to do, be that focal point for the forward?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah, definitely. I think any forward will want as much ball coming to them as they can, but yeah, we've got a lot of dangerous forwards up there now with Filthy and Himmelberg and, like you said, Rankin and Rash. So I think it's a really dangerous forward line, hopefully going into the future. So I think hopefully we can string it together and start getting some continuity and playing good footy all round. So
talk us through today. 300, a couple of very, very exciting
yes.
Susie does.
It's all very exciting down here. So a lot of kids have come out, which is good. I think we're covering about 13 schools for the day. So yeah, like I said, there's about 6 or 7 of us and a few staff members. So we're spread out at the moment, but we've got like you said, a few hundred kids here, and then I think we've got another clinic after when school finishes for everyone. So it should be good. It's good to mingle with all the kids and let them have a little bit of fun. It's a beautiful day as well, so it's good to be outside.
Which stars came down to Lucindale when you were youngster?
I reckon we might have had a Southeast community camp, but I remember once I had Kyle Hardigan and I think Sauce Jacobs might have came, so it was good. You never really forget all that sort of stuff when you look up for them, but no, it's pretty cool.